In today's video, Dana is going to attempt at the artsy lighting effects. This Monday is a storytelling Monday. So a couple weeks ago, I went to a basketball game with my dad. For the women's basketball games, there are two kinds of seats. So if you're a general admission, it's just kind of like bleachers and they have no backs or anything. So it's very uncomfortable. But if you get a season tickets pass, then you get these really nice what are called blue backer chairs. They have cushions on them and they have armrests, and typically, depending on how much you pay, the seat can be a lot better. So the day that my dad and I went, this game was more special than usual because it was the last home game of the season. So they had a special for all of the general admission people. Basically, if you had a general admission ticket, then 5 minutes into the game, you could go to the cashier's office and you could trade in your general admission ticket for a gold wristband. And if you had that gold wristband, then you could go to any of the season ticket holders' seats if they were empty, and you could take their spot and sit in it. So when I heard about this thing, I got really excited because I knew that this was my opportunity to get a season ticket seat for free. Well, not for free, the general admission price, but basically it was a lot cheaper than normal. So what ended up happening was that my dad and I, we were on one side and season ticket holders are on the other side of the court. For the first 5 minutes of the game, I was like actively watching all of the season ticket holders' seats, picking out like which seats I would want. And there actually turned out to be 2 seats in the very front row at half court, and they were free and no one was sitting in them. So basically when the 5-minute mark, when I ran over to the cashier's office and then I got the gold wristband and I was like, come on, let's go. And I ran all the way around the stadium, had to like push my way past season ticket holders, and you know, they're all like comfy and what's up with the season ticket holders. So then I was like there all like scrungy and like general admission. And I like pushed my way, I was like, excuse me, and then we got our season ticket holder seats. Oh, and they were so good and it was so excellent. But anyway, that's not what I'm going to talk about today. So before, when we had been sitting with the general admission, there was a couple behind us. The husband was there with his wife, and whenever something would happen, he would kind of tell the wife what happened because apparently she didn't know how to play basketball. Except it was really humorous because something would happen and then the announcer would say, and that's a travel, and then the guy behind us would just say to his wife, that was a travel, and his wife would go, ah. I mean, she really didn't need her husband there to reiterate what the announcer said. Whenever that would happen, my dad and I would kind of like chuckle to each other and be like, ha ha ha, like they don't know how to play basketball, but like it's fine, like it's cute that like they're here at the basketball game together, like whatever. That was like the people who were sitting around us. There were like rowdy kids and then there was the couple, and it was all just kind of chill and mellow. But then when we went over to the season ticket holders, basically we sat down. And then right when I sat down, there was a lady sitting next to me and she turned around and she said, you know, sometimes they check. And I was a little off put by that because they had made the announcement of like the wristband thing. So I was thinking like, why would they check if I have a wristband? It's okay for me to be here. So I kind of just responded and I said, oh, really? And then she responded, yeah, really. So I was kind of like, oh, okay, like whatever. I'm just gonna sit and I'm gonna watch my basketball game because I have my golden wristband. But basically the game was going on, and the difference between the general admission and the season tickets holders was so different. The 2 ladies that were sitting next to me, it wasn't like they had their husbands or anything. These were just women who like really loved Cal women's basketball, but they were so like scarily enthusiastic. The woman would be playing and then the refs would call something and the 2 ladies sitting next to me would just yell and yell horrible things at the refs when they made calls that they didn't agree with. Boo! You don't know how to play basketball! You don't know these calls! Like, oh, fuck! You're blind, ref! You're blind! And then one of the refs had blonde hair and she made a call. And the lady sitting next to me was like, oh, bad call, Barbie! Bad call! They were so mean and they were so enthusiastic and excited, but it all turned into like really negative energy. Even when Berkeley like got a basket, they'd be like, oh, finally. You're such an intense fan and like you're sitting next to me and you're really scaring me. There are so many things about intense females that scare me. So basically those 2 ladies were crazy. And it's such a big difference between like the intense sports ladies, and then the like lady that we were sitting next to in the general admission where like she didn't know how to play basketball. And those are obviously like two really different spectrums, polar opposites. But it's like, can't we be like somewhere in the middle, because the like crazy sports ladies really frighten me. This also brings up one thing. My dad mentioned what's called the Devil's Dictionary, and he told me about one word that it had in it that was masochist. It defined the word as a man who hates women as much as they hate each other. Women hate each other. Bad call, Barbie!